Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for the kind introduction. I would like to begin by thanking Professor Grinder Singh for giving me the opportunity to be with you today. It is indeed a pleasure to share my thoughts on the growing friendly ties between India and Saudi Arabia with such a distinguished gathering. Under the vision and leadership of Mr. Ashok Chauhan, Amity has evolved into a top institution of learning and center of research and excellence. The university that was established in 2003 with an enrollment of 120 students has now more than 15 international campuses and over 170,000 students across 250 programs. This is admirable indeed. It is my privilege to be your guest to speak about the special friendship that Saudi Arabia and India share. Our relations are centuries old, marked by geographical proximity, civilizational links, cultural affinity, and vibrant human interaction, including exchange of knowledge, ideas, and culture. Our ties rest on trust, mutual understanding, goodwill, and respect for each other's interests. Besides, business and cultural relations between India and the Arab world can be traced back to the very beginning of recorded history and had profound influence on each other, which continues till today. And in the ancient era, trade between our countries comprised largely of spices, aromatics, almonds, and dates. However, the civilizational ties between the two sides have been enriched by the movement of not only goods, but people and ideas as well. Both nations share a rich history of literature. Scholars from India came to our region to learn Arabic language and Islamic jurisprudence, and the Arabs came to India to learn mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy, among other fields. The great Arab scholar Al-Biruni visited India in the early 11th century and wrote an encyclopedic book on India, presenting it in an enlightening form to the world, besides translating books from Sanskrit to Arabic and vice versa. Today, Arabic language is taught in many schools and universities across India, contributing to the Arabic and Indian culture and literature. The last decade has been particularly seminal in transforming the nature of our relationship. Cooperation between our countries has made remarkable progress in diverse fields, including trade, energy, security, and cultural spheres, since the signing of the landmark Riyadh Declaration of February 2010 that elevated our relationship into a strategic partnership. The frequency of high-level bilateral visits in recent years demonstrates the commitment to strengthen our strategic partnership. The custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, visit to India in February 2014 was followed by the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Riyadh in 2016, April 2016. And most recently, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz, Crown Prince, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defense, paid his historic visit to India in February 2019. During the visit, the two countries established the Strategic Coordination Council led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and His Royal Highness Crown Prince, and supported by ministerial groups covering the whole spectrum of strategic sectors. India was also accorded special status at last year's Al Janadriya, Saudi Arabia's National Heritage Festival, The gesture is deeply symbolic of our close and growing linkages. The deepening of our bilateral relationship comes at a very crucial time as the economies of Saudi Arabia and India are positively transforming, and the two nations are looking at furthering trade and investment cooperation by aligning the Kingdom's vision of 2030 with India's flagship initiatives of Make in India, Startup India, Smart Cities, and Digital India. India is one of the fastest growing large economy in the world, fueled by reforms, a young population, and an advanced technology. The Saudi government has also dedicated vast resources to enhance the well-being of the Saudi people, focusing on creating a vibrant society, a thriving economy, and an ambitious nation. The state budget for fiscal year of 2019 is the largest budget in the history of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and it aims at supporting economic growth, raise the efficiency of spending, and achieve sustainability and financial stability within the objectives of the Kingdom Vision of 2030. We are ready to leapfrog into the future together. The recent workshop between NITI, Ayog, and Saudi Center for International Strategic Partnership has identified more than 40 opportunities of joint collaboration and investment across various sectors. There is huge untapped potential available in merchandise trade, particularly in non-oil trade, and we are enhancing cooperation in economic, commercial, investment, and technological fields. Our bilateral trade currently stands at around $27 billion, will certainly see a significant jump in the years to come as we engage in a host of new areas such as information and communication technology, healthcare, defense, biotechnology, education, and infrastructure, among others. The Kingdom Vision of 2030 aims to transform the entire foundation of the Kingdom's economy. We are now looking to a post-oil age that will usher in an era of world-class technological research, startup development, entrepreneurial vigor, and fast investment opportunities. Our aim is to free the Kingdom's economy from oil dependency by diversifying revenue streams, attracting foreign investment, and establishing Saudi Arabia as a global hub. The entire foundation of our Kingdom's economy is being transformed towards a post-oil age with the aim of attracting $427 billion in private investment over the next decade to diversify the economy and create 1.6 million new jobs through the National Industrial Development and Logistics Program. We view India as a partner in this exciting new phase of our economy's profound growth. The construction market in Saudi Arabia is also expected to reach a record high of US $96 billion in 2025, up from about $45 billion currently. There are multiple giga projects underway: Smart City project, Neom Entertainment City, Gaddia, and the Red Sea Tourism project, among others. I will take a moment to share a few key details about Neom. Neom's vision is to be the land of the future, where the greatest minds and best talents are empowered to embody pioneering ideas and exceed boundaries in a world inspired by imagination. It will have new cities with extensive infrastructure that includes a network of airports and advanced seaports, industrial areas, as well as creative and innovation centers to unlock the potential of knowledge-based economy, and a range of world-class tourist destinations. 16 key economic sectors, which includes energy, water, tourism, media, health and well-being, sport, food, mobility, biotech, manufacturing, and livability, will put NEOM on the global investment map. 4 entertainment projects: King Salman Park, Riyadh Green, Sport Boulevard, and Riyadh Art, worth of $23 billion, have been launched just this month. The projects will complement Saudi Vision 2030's quality of life program and are aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goals to create sustainable cities and communities. They offer investment opportunities worth of $14 billion to local and foreign investors, and their implementation will begin shortly. Overall, the country's infrastructure is being developed and upgraded, including expansion of the railway system and introduction of a new light rail mass transit project with metro lines and a community bus network in the kingdom major cities of Riyadh, Jeddah, Mecca, and Medina. The Haramain high-speed rail spanning 450 kilometers network is already serving the people. Also, a US $100 billion planned investment in transport projects will occur over the next decade. With Vision 2030 serving as a blueprint, we are working with strategic objectives of welcoming 30 million pilgrims each year by 2030 to perform Hajj and Umrah. The third phase of expansion of the Grand Mosque is in full swing and is estimated to cost about $50 billion. Expansion of the building itself covers nearly 1.5 million square meters, including 78 new gates. The airports are being modernized and their capacities are being augmented. King Abdulaziz International Airport, for instance, will have a complex of travel halls with an area of 810,000 square meters, allowing all airlines carriers to operate under one roof. We have initiated a program of restructuring at all levels of government. Digital services have been expanded to reduce delays and cut tedious procedures to build government institutions that are effective, transparent, and accountable. Significant steps have been taken to improve the business and investment climate and to promote industrial development, particularly small and mid-sized businesses. With its platform Mirage, starting business in the kingdom now requires only one step and one day. The single window platform, FASH, has also been launched for customs clearance and import and export procedures. The Doing Business 2019 report has ranked Saudi Arabia as the 4th largest reformer within G20. In 2018, Saudi Arabia saw foreign direct investment rise by 120% year on year. In a couple of months, the kingdom will be included in the MSCI Emerging Markets Index and the MSCI AWCY Index. Multiple regulatory and operational improvements are opening the domestic market to international investors. We are already engaging constructively in multiple domains with India. Saudi Aramco and the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company are jointly developing the West Coast Refinery and Petrochemicals Limited. The $44 billion mega refinery and petrochemicals complex will be the largest greenfield refinery in the world to implement in one phase, and we are proud to be part of this project. In addition, 10 billion investment through the Public Investment Fund and its technology partners and other investment opportunities potentially worth $26 billion are also being explored in India. Saudi Arabia is looking at making investment in India potentially worth of $100 billion in the areas of energy, refining, petrochemicals, infrastructure, agriculture, minerals, and mining, manufacturing, education, and health. Our partnership has grown beyond the supply of crude oil, refined products to a comprehensive energy partnership focusing on investment and joint venture in petrochemical complexes and cooperation in joint exploration. I must also assert the Kingdom has been and will remain committed to meet India's growing needs for crude oil and petroleum products. Energy security is a key pillar of our strategic partnership with immense scope for growth of bilateral trade in the energy sector. Renewable energy is our next big bet. Our new solar energy plan 230 is the world's largest project of its type. By 2019, the Kingdom's first 2 solar generation projects with 3 gigawatt and 4.2 gigawatt of solar capacity will be commissioned, and by 2030, more than 150 gigawatt solar power will be generated. The plan will increase the GDP by $12 billion and save up to $40 billion annually. During the recent visit of His Royal Highness Crown Prince, Saudi Arabia also signed an MOU to join the International Solar Alliance. There is indeed great potential for cooperation in the renewable energy sector, not only in investment, but also on R&D. Apart from energy, we also intend to invest in India in the areas of infrastructure, agriculture, minerals, and mining, manufacturing, education, and health system. The Ministry of Energy, Industry and Mineral Resources signed an MOU with the Indian Ministry of Finance on Saudi Arabia's investment in the National Investment and Infrastructure Fund Limited of India. An MOU was also signed between the industrial groupings of Glenmark Company on pharmaceutical industry. Another MOU was signed among the industrial groupings Middle East Healthcare Company and India Trifatron Company to localize the medical supplies industry. Saudi Arabia Mining Company Ma'aden also signed 2 MOUs to supply 5 million tons of phosphate fertilizer to the Indian market with IPL Company and other companies worth of $2 billion for 5 years. Signing of the framework cooperation agreement between the Saudi Arabian General Investment Authority and Invest India in 2016 was significantly instrumental in bringing positive change in investment climate. Now, these MOUs will further pave the way for expanding bilateral trade and economic cooperation. Soon, a joint working group on skill development will also be set up to identify areas of cooperation where the 2 countries can benefit from each other's core competencies in important fields such as manufacturing, information technology, communications, and programming. The 2 nations are also seeing more cooperation in the areas of space, science and technology, including remote sensing, satellite communication, and satellite-based navigation. Terrorism is a common concern for both Saudi Arabia and India, and the two countries have been closely cooperating in fighting terrorism, including through exchange of information and intelligence. Saudi Arabia is leading the global campaign against terrorism, terror financing, and extremism. Saudi Arabia was among the first countries to strongly condemn the tragic terror attack in Pulwama. Both countries have signed several agreements in the field of security, including an extradition treaty. And during the April 2016 visit of the Prime Minister to Saudi Arabia, the two sides decided to further enhance cooperation in counterterrorism operation, intelligence sharing, and law enforcement. In fact, during this visit, the two sides also agreed upon the need to intensify bilateral defense cooperation through exchange of visits by military personnel and experts, and exchange of visit of ships and aircrafts. An MOU has also been signed on technical cooperation in cyberspace and combating cybercrime, maritime security, law enforcement, anti-money laundering, drug trafficking, human trafficking, illegal immigration, and other transnational organized crimes. We are also collaborating in joint defense production of spare parts of naval and land systems, as well as disaster resilient infrastructure. We have also constituted a comprehensive security dialogue at the level of national security advisors and set up a joint working group on countering terrorism. Friends, India is a primary focus of the Kingdom's campaign to court foreign investors and expertise. India's economy is projected to rise sharply over the next couple of decades and to become the second largest in Asia by 2040. India holds a special place for us. There are approximately 3 million Indian nationals who live in my country, forming the largest expatriate community in the kingdom. Doctors, engineers, IT professionals, workers, academicians, scientists are all part of the Indian community in Saudi Arabia, working hard to establish themselves in almost all economic sectors, and we look at them as partners. The contribution of Indians in economic development has been acknowledged by our government, and we have made significant efforts to make them feel at home. Religion is yet another common factor that pulls us closer. Last year, 175,000 pilgrims, a record number from India, went for Hajj. These included more than 47% female pilgrims. For the third consecutive year in a row, India's Hajj quota has seen an increase. This year, the quota has been increased to 200,000. The Kingdom has also agreed to India's plan for reviving the cost-effective sea route for Hajj. To conclude, I would like to once again reiterate that as formidable economies of Middle East and Asia, Saudi Arabia and India have a historic opportunity to collaborate in shaping the future of our regions for a better tomorrow full of prosperity and promise. I thank you very much for listening. Thank you.